Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back to Crafty Butterfly Farah's channel. I hope that everyone is doing well. Happy New Year to everybody. And so excited. This is my first tutorial for the year. But before we get started, let me just say that this video is not intended for anyone underage, any children. This video is intended only for adult crafters. So with that being said, as you can see from the title, this is a tutorial for making rosettes for beginners. So guys, this is like my third time making this video, so hopefully my phone does not cut off. So I have decided to make a 1.5 inch rosette. So as I am doing the rosette, I'm going to just kind of send out some important information about making rosettes. So I am going to score this at every 1/4 of an inch. So every 1/4 of an inch, I will be scoring this all the way down. And so while I do that, I want to say that when you are making a rosette, the length, the width of the paper is very important. When you make a rosette that is 2 inches or bigger, you will be needing 2 pieces of paper, because with just one piece of paper you're not going to make it all the way around because of the width of the paper. So that's why I kind of stick to, like, I usually make smaller rosettes for embellishments and things like that. And I do make big rosettes, which are the bigger 2 inches, 2.5, 3 inches for wands, because those consist of 2 pieces of paper and they are big rosettes. And also the weight of the paper is also important. It's important to know what you're using. So right now I'm using a 65 weight paper, which is regular cardstock. You could use design paper, and you can also use the design paper that the paper is flimsy. It's not as thick. It's kind of like copy paper, and we all know that's kind of flimsy. You can use that as well to make rosettes. The only thing is that you would have to be careful when you're scoring the paper, because you do not want to rip the paper, and that paper will rip easily. But the good thing about making rosettes with flimsy paper is that you can fold the paper easy. It's very easy to fold the paper, and it's a lot faster to make rosettes with the flimsy paper. With regular cardstock, as you can see, you can make the rosettes, and it is, for me, it is also simple. If I am dealing with like a 1 inch or 1.5 inch, if I am dealing with a 2 inch or bigger, I can handle making it, but it does take time when you're using regular cardstock. When you are making a rosette and you have the strip of paper and you would like to add some design to the edge, you can use any edge punch that you have. I like to use my Martha Stewart's. But you will do this while you have not folded the paper. You first will score, then you will cut your paper, then you will fold your paper. It's a lot easier doing it that way. And I guess it's the right way of doing it because you don't want to fold it and then cut the paper. So what I am doing is I am folding my paper at every score mark that I made, making a hill and a valley. So you go down, then you go up, okay, then you go down, and then you go up. So, and then I do this all the way to the end of the paper. And it will get harder because, as you can see, it's going to get chunkier. So it's going to be a lot harder to hold your paper. And it does get harder when you are dealing with a bigger size rosette, which like 2 inches or bigger, you know. So I like to place my paper on a flat surface and kind of push it in and just make sure everything is nice and flat. That makes a really nice rosette. And as you can see here, we have 2 hills here. So this is going down and this is going down. So obviously when you put it together, you're not going to be able to click it. You do need a hill and you need a valley so they can click. So what I usually do is I just cut. Let's see. So I'm just going to cut here. I'm going to cut this piece off just like that, right on the score line, as straight as you can. So then you can have this little hill here, and then you can have this valley, and then you can connect your rosette. And so that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to use just regular wet glue. You could use the glue gun, but I do like to use wet glue when I'm connecting these. And so you don't want to go over these, I'm sorry about my camera, but you don't want to go over your score line. You want to be able for this to be able to bend. So you want to do it, you want to connect it, but not go all the way down to the score line. So there we go. So I'm gluing it there. So you still want this to be able to bend, okay? So leave it there for a little bit. And then, so you will need, to make a rosette, you will need your scoreboard. You will need scissors, you will need glue. I should have said this in the beginning, but I'm all over the place. You are going to need some circles. So if you're making a small rosette, you're going to need a smaller circle. You're making a bigger rosette, you'll need a bigger circle. You can use regular circles, or you can use scallop circles, which will give it a nice look. So I have my glue gun going, and I'm going to be putting this. You can put it either way you want to put it, this way, you want to put it this way, it doesn't really matter. But you will need your circle. You will need your circle, and you will need your glue gun. Okay? And so you're going to fold this like this, make it go all the way in, just like that. It's going to lay flat like that, and then you're going to have that little hole there. You'll want to use your fingers to hold it together while you glue in the middle. So I'm going to put some glue right in the center, and then I'm going to grab my circle, and I am going to place it and hold it, and I'm going to try to hold everything together just like that. Just kind of, you want to add a little bit of push, and like push it together, push the paper together so that it can, you know, come closer and make the creases. I hope that you can see this. So just hold it there for a little bit. And then when you flip it over, you have a really, really nice looking rosette. You could either add another circle in the middle, or you can add a scallop circle just to give it a nice look, and then you can embellish it afterwards. So this is a 1.5-inch rosette, and this is a 1-inch rosette. So if you would grab a 1-inch rosette and a 1.5-inch rosette, as you can see, you can put them both together and just make a big nice embellishment. So when you are making a rosette and the paper is bigger, so this is a 2-inch, rosette that I want to make, you would need 2 pieces of paper for this. If you try to fold this to make to go all the way around to make a rosette, it's not going to let you. You're going to see that you're going to need another piece of paper. Because of how wide the rosette is, you need 2 pieces of paper to complete the rosette. Again, you will need a circle. And I don't know if I'm going to use the 1-inch circle or the 1.5-inch circle. But let's try. I hope my video doesn't cut off. It's been doing that, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm going to connect these together. When I first made these, I folded one, started going down. So I folded it this way, going down, and then I kept going. And then my second paper, instead of folding it down, I folded up, because you need a hill and a valley to connect your rosettes when you're done. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to connect it. And I hope my video doesn't cut off. If I do apologize. So this is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is regular cardstock, 65 weight. And it's pretty easy to do it. If you take your time, it's simple to do. But I'll tell you one thing, with the flimsy paper, I have seen that is a lot easier to make a rosette because the paper folds so well and so quickly. So I'm going to be, and I see that this side is just a bit too wide. So I'm going to cut that a little bit there. And I am going to place it. And again, you want to glue it, but not glue it all the way down to the score line, because you do still want this to fold. So then you still want it to fold over like that. And as you can see, it looks a lot bigger. I should have kind of creased it together. So I'm just going to go around and kind of press it down a little bit. But it is going to be a lot easier for you to put this together. As you can see, you have a lot of space. And as you can see, your circle is going to be bigger. So I am going to use a 1.5-inch circle to put this together. If I can get my glue gun. Keep forgetting that. My space is so small here, guys. I'm getting ready to do something in my living room. Create a L-shaped desk so that I can have more space for my crafting. Because right now I'm crafting. I have a desk in my room. And I have some other furniture in my room. But it's still a tiny little space, and I need more space. So I'm going to, again, push it, making sure that, you know, the rosette, it's nice and together. So I'm going to give it a little time for the glue to kind of dry a little bit. So there we go. Let's see. So I gotta give it a little time. I still feel that it's a little. Alright, so let's see. So there we go. So then you have this here. My glue ran a little bit. And then you could also add another circle right on top on the other side, just to make sure that it stays together well. So there you go. And then this would be your 2-inch rosette, and you can make a wand with this. So when I first started making rosettes, I did not know that the bigger you want to make the rosette, you know, that you would need an extra paper. I would try to make a rosette with just one piece of paper that's 2 inches and score it at 1/4 inch, which that also makes a difference. If you were to score it at 1 inch, you know, you could probably still get away with 2 pieces, but maybe bigger than that, you'll probably need a 3rd piece. So the bigger the score lines and the wider the piece of paper, the more pieces of strips you're going to need to make your rosette. So these are my rosettes right there. I hope that this was helpful to you. Remember to please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope this is helpful. Any questions, please leave it in the comments, and I love reading comments, so I will get to it. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.